What's going on, YouTube? Adam Patterson out here, of course, and I just wanted to go over personality exams. I don't know if you guys have ever taken these things before. I was made to take them back in college. I had to take a little career planning course, I suppose, when I entered into school at the University at Albany. It was one of the first requirements that they made us do. And I had to take career personality exams. And ever since then, I've taken a few of them on my own. And it helps you learn about your personality. So, for example, I come out to be the commander. I'm an ENTJ commander. Um, and pretty much what that means is people with my personality type are most likely found in, X. Most of them are salespeople, business owners, or high up managers of companies. And, I find that to be pretty funny. And I I take those things with a grain of salt, but I also, as I've grown older and grown wiser and taken more of them, the things that they said, even when I took my exams back when I was in college and in high school, they pretty much line up with exactly who I am and where I would want to be. I've always wanted to own my own company, so whenever I took those things, I kind of took them with a grain of salt because I was like, that's just my personality. But that's exactly what it's a test of, is your personality and where you would fit best in the work world. And so whenever it told me, you could be a salesperson, I was like, okay, that makes sense. My dad is a salesperson. Most of the people that I speak with, their parents are salespeople or business owners. So I always took it with a grain of salt. And then, my brother is an attorney, and one of the options was you could be an attorney. Like, wow, mind boggling that the people that I hang around have so much of an effect on me that it seems like I could be something like this. And it's always come out to that. It's always come out to like military officer, which my father was in the military before he was a salesperson. So these are all things that, they seemed fairly obvious to me. It didn't seem like I needed to take an exam. I was like, no crap, dude. My father was in the military. My father's a salesperson. My mom's a manager. Everybody that I hang around is salespeople. All their parents are salespeople or business owners. It didn't seem like it was something too crazy to me. And I was like, I don't even know why I took this test. I could have told you this crap. But that is the purpose of the test. The test is to point you in the correct direction, or to at least show you where your mind and everything adds up to where you could be in the workforce. And I wish that I had taken those things into consideration earlier on. I would have probably gone into sales a little bit earlier. I would have started my own company, a year prior or 2 years prior to when I actually did. If I looked back and if I could go back and I knew everything that I knew now, I if I knew everything that I knew now, I would just go straight back and own my own business, and I would be right back into the same line of work. If I went back and didn't know what I know now, I would probably do exactly what I did in the past. But the personality exams are great. They do help you. They will, if you think you know what you want to do and your personality lines up to something, they're kind of like a confirmation bias that you should go and do it. Because when I started taking the personality exams, I was trying to start a different business that I had, which failed. And I was looking for some form of direction, but everything that I was doing was pointing me back to exactly what I was doing, which I didn't think that I should be doing because the business was failing financially, which is a failed business. You don't turn enough profit to stay in business. And so the confirmation bias was really throwing me off because it was like, you should be a business owner, you should be a sales executive, you should be a CEO, you should be a top general in the military. And the confirmation bias was something that I was thinking was being disproved. So the personality exams tend to be right, and they tend to predict your future pretty well. And for those reasons, I say that you should take personality exams, see where you line up, because if it tells you that you should be, an accountant or a financial advisor or something like this, you might want to start looking in those directions in terms of your career path, because those things tend to line up with exactly what your personality is and what you should be doing. And I wouldn't fight what the exam says. I would take it and I would learn from it and I would use it. And I would say, this is something that I want to go explore now. Because had I done that and not fought everything from an earlier age when I started going to college as an accountant or for accounting, and it was telling me that I should be in sales and everything, maybe I wouldn't have wasted 4 years getting a college degree. Not that it was wasteful. I don't want to make it sound like it was wasteful, but maybe instead of going to school, I would have just gotten out and gone into sales because I've learned sales through doing sales. I did not learn sales in school. And so, there's 4 years that I could have had under my belt, 4 years of income, 4 years of not college debt that I had to pay off. And maybe I would be further in life than I am right now. Maybe I would be on a different trajectory. Maybe I would have started my company years prior. Who knows? But it is something to take into consideration because in the future, when I have my own children, I will have them taking personality exams. I'll have them taking IQ exams. They will have an exam for everything and anything. That's my thought. Take personality exams. They're helpful.